What is up, guys? It's Scott with Never Hedge, back for another Emax Live AMA. We did have a nice little pump there over the weekend. Things seem to have died down, although we were up 15.81% today. So I think we'll take it. Yeah, we got a nice little pump going on right now. We're going to cut right to the Emax Live Telegram, so I'm going to shut the hell up and we'll get right to it.
We're going to start with these updates now. Moving forward, the total cryptocurrency market is down, or was down 3.75% since last week. This is calculated and based on the total global cryptocurrency market, just to put things in perspective, because obviously there are macro events and micro events that all funnel down or funnel up into the ecosystem of Ethereum Max.
And Steve, just to add to that, Ethereum itself is down 11.8% in the last week. Bitcoin down 9% and Emax up 125%. So just put that in perspective.
That is a much better update than my macro update, which is awesome. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be obviously good weeks, bad weeks. It was this past week was certainly a good week for Ethereum Max. And with that, we first wanted to address what is likely the elephant in the room, which is since last week, there has been a lot of information being passed around in the chat as it relates to the recent price fluctuation and the buy-sell action with Emax. We have always promoted an environment of open and transparent communication, even with topics that could be considered tough or forthright. For example, think of community members having questions about transactions from the Emax marketing wallet and expense wallet. These have been, addressed by the community. They've been spoken about openly, and it's a conversation matter. And there's always going to be, a small group of individuals that try to speculate on their own self-created stories, but the truth eventually always emerges. And we realize that as of late, there has been a fine line, really, between community conversation for education and transparency purposes versus momentum that starts to take the focus away from the current objectives and long-term vision of Emax. And with that, there is no room for unproductive conversations as it tarnishes our community. And our community is first. We stand by that and we mean that. So people who try to infiltrate our community to try to start problems, extract information, or waste everyone's time with drama, they're just going to be asked to leave the group. So with that, we're urging the community to keep the conversations educational and share your thoughts in an honest but positive light. Everyone has opinions. We don't expect everyone to agree. That's not real life. But if you are in this chat, this Ethereum Max chat, you are part of the Emax community, then please realize that we're all here. We're all on the same team. We should all have the same vision and mission and the same interests. We should have the same thoughts and feelings about we want this project to succeed. So, we're asking everyone to act as such. If you don't believe in our vision, that's fine. We're not trying to convert you. We have plenty of cherished holders that we appreciate very much. But, with that said, if you're going to make it a point to be a thorn in our side, the community is going to bark back. I mean, that shouldn't come as a surprise. This has to be, a two-way road. So to save everyone time and energy, engage positively as a holder who cares about the outcome of this project, or please honestly just invest your time and focus elsewhere. This is not about picking sides. This is about being a united community and family. Though you may not see eye to eye with every single one of them, at the end of the day, they're still your family and they're connected to you, either whether that's through blood or a relationship. And with Emax, you're connected to everyone simply because we're all holders and we believe in the project. That is our commonality together, and we need to continue to remind each other of this. So we are all on the same team. That is my long-winded message about some of the recent events from this past week and past weekend. Gio, I don't know if you have anything else to add to that.
No, I mean, I think that was well said. And obviously, I think you can see how much passion our entire community has and how much this means to everybody. And, we're all super, invested emotionally, financially, and, I think our time and energy and the thoughts of the community really have been spoken. And it's, it's actually, almost brings a tear to my eye just to see kind of how much everybody cares. And, I think we all, care that much and more. So I think, what has been going on this past week has been, I've been just proud to say that this has been a community we kind of created over this 2-month period, and it's only going to get stronger and better as we go forward. So, I definitely echo all your thoughts, Steve. I think that was very well said. We'll talk more, on the subject, I'm sure, as the AMA goes on. But I think everybody has really let their voice be heard, and that's I think that's important.
Nice. So moving on. So starting this week, it kind of started last week, but our AMAs are going to be transcribed into a bunch of different languages across the globe. For those of you who may not know this, we have about, I think, 12 or 14 different Ethereum Max groups all across the country. Italy, Spain, China, and they put in requests to have these transcribed. So our support team's been working their butt off to make this a reality. So as we continue to fine tune our process, this will be something that we do roll out over our social channels and as well as our website. So just wanted to keep the community updated on that aspect. And on a side note, in speaking with our support team earlier today, they noticed that some of the replies to some of the support tickets were being sent to their spam folder. So if you have not received a response, that's why. I guess that's something that they realized in the recent future. Recently. So something exciting that we did this week, we had Mike B, who most of you probably know in our Telegram chat. He was running a meme contest. So we have the winners of the Emax community meme creation contest. This was run by Mike B. He's always generous enough to coordinate, manage, distribute the winnings himself. So kudos to Mike for taking the initiative there. Mike, if you're around, if you can, let's post. Actually go backwards. So third place was Straight Outta Lambos. This was submitted by someone on Discord with the name of BW, who has won 2 billion Emax. Mike B, I don't know if you want to post that or if you're here. Yeah, I see you here. Let's just make sure Mike can post into the chat. There we go. So congrats to our third place winner, Straight Outta Lambos. Very funny. The second place is a rare photo of mankind discovering fire and Emax. This one's from a Discord name, Still, who has won $2 billion courtesy of Mike B.
That was my personal favorite, by the way.
That is funny. What is better than finding fire in the Emax? That makes me smile. There's a lot of emotions already in this AMA. And then very much so congratulations to the Emax ETH Baby Award. This is submitted also on Discord. Discord really held down their fort on this contest. This one was submitted by Billy Ben, who has won 5 billion Emax. So Mike, if you want to post that one in our chat. And there you go. Guy on the moon, looking at his baby on the moon, very happy with the Emax baby. So congratulations to all of our winners. Thanks a lot, Mike B, for running this. Really appreciate it. Please send Mike B a DM to receive your Emax prize. So this is something fun that was community driven. I really appreciate your effort here, Mike, and I really appreciate all of the community members who were kind enough to submit their memes. So good job, community. So moving on to some news from this past week. So this past week, we had some really huge positive momentum and movement. So as a recap, this past week, Emax was trending number 2 on BKX Exchange. Emax was trending number 2 on L Bank Exchange, and was trending number 4 on MXC Global Exchange. And was trending number 1. We were the number 1 gainer on CoinMarketCap. So that was a boatload of accomplishments. So Giovanni, I know we were speaking earlier about this. That's a lot of trending, a lot of good news in 1 week. Like, what would you attribute that to, or what are your overall thoughts on some of that?
Well, I mean, like I've said a few times on those posts, it's when micro beats macro. We've been operating in a tough environment, and it's really been, since the time we launched. Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the big boys have been, there's been a big flight from the space, but, I think, just like we kind of experienced some issues, I think, what this has shown the last week is that, kind of the community, has kind of voiced their opinion and shown their, their spirit. And I think there's really been an impetus for a nice rise to say, hey, Emax is kind of not dead here. We're only getting started. Obviously I think the plans for the future really are, kind of invigorating a lot of those emotions like you're talking about. I think, we just see kind of Emax as something that's been extremely undervalued and something that that has a lot of road to cover here. So I think the future's super bright, and I think that's what kind of the community and everybody who've kind of come in as new holders. I see the holder count's been upticking, and we haven't even really kind of gotten into a lot of the the real kind of marketing and partnership piece of of the puzzle that we know is coming in the future. But yeah, no, it's great to see. It's great to see that that impetus kind of going and the blood pumping and all that emotion flowing. So it's been great. But yeah, no, I think just reflective of all the potential this project has and what's in store.
I just looked. We're exactly 111 holders away from 109,000 holders. So 111 seems like a lucky number.
Maybe we can get there too.
Well, I mean, one of the main things that we forgot to mention is that at one point, it was on Friday, I think we were texting each other, Gio, but Emax had 61 straight buys without a single sell, which is friggin' wild. We were watching the chart, just green and green and green.
Yeah, it was incredible. I don't think I've ever seen that at any point, to be honest. That was pretty remarkable, and I think that was one of the first days we kind of started seeing a lot of this kind of outreach in the community and a lot of stuff that they were kind of seeing and things that were kind of being referenced and whatnot. But that was pretty amazing to see, and I think that's just some of the potential that when everybody kind of looks at the big picture, understands what we can reach. We've obviously reached a level that was in excess of $1 billion of a diluted market cap, and we know we can kind of get back to that level. It's just everybody kind of understanding where they're at from an overall position and where the project really is, in the grand scheme of its lifetime. So, the 61 straight buys, and I think the guy who actually broke it had like a 0.00001 ETH sell. So I think he was
that guy.
Yeah. But I think we can break that. So we'll see. We'll see in the future when something really good comes out.
Ooh, that's a good community challenge. I like that. Let's see if Emax community could at one point this week, next week, break our 61 straight buys.
I can see it. Community challenge. I hear it.
So last week we also released our first promotional video, which was an impressive snapshot of what Emax has accomplished in less than 2 months. So the video captured billboards in Times Square, featured prominent stars like Paul Pierce and Kim Kardashian. The video even included mainstream sporting events like the Mayweather fight, Mayweather and Paul fight, Davis and Barrios fight. I thought the video was fire. Sometimes I even forget myself, what we've accomplished in 2 months, because it's. I mean, the video was a great recap of it. It's nuts. So, I know you had a big part of that, Gio. Spearhead out of the things that went on with that video. So I don't know if you have any thoughts about that.
Yeah, I think it was awesome. I mean, when we had the idea to do it, it was just really to show everybody, hey, like, this is what we accomplished. And honestly, I know it was like kind of the first 8 weeks, but a lot of that stuff happened really in the first 5 or 6 weeks, and we kind of took a pause a little bit, to kind of recalibrate, kind of where we stand and make sure we're situated properly to kind of launch forward with our next real push. But I think it was pretty remarkable to see how many events and influencers and ambassadors relationships we actually were able to forge. There was actually a couple I think we didn't even include in there at the end of the day, but yeah, just between all the fights and the amazing relationship with the money team and with Tank, and everything we've done across the mainstream kind of celeb sphere. I think those are all things that, I know maybe didn't have the direct, kind of price impact or, addition to the holder count and things like that. But, just wait. Those things will all pay collateral benefits well out into the future. We're on the map all over the place. And I think that's the thing for everybody to remember. We are absolutely on the map. And obviously a lot of the press around that stuff was kind of predictable. They love controversy. They love, to associate somebody like a Kim or whoever with something controversial. All these guys, they somehow were able to get, Kim to post this thing, even though 100 other crypto companies have tried and haven't been able to. And, ultimately at the end of the day, obviously Kim Kardashian's not going to be associated with a scam. And, I think everything, we're doing just shows that we're making an investment into the future. We're making an investment into our community. And I think our community is making an investment into us. So, that to me is the, I think what that video kind of, encompasses, and it just shows, how much we can do, and how much more we will do, right? Like we said at the end of that video, we're only just getting started. So, I think that's the key, the key piece of all of that, just to kind of keep in mind.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the obviously the price is important, the holders are important, but I think this video honestly captures so much more than that, like so much above and beyond that, because I mean, holders, if you really think about it, I mean, this is the type of cryptocurrency token that published this type of video, 2 months into their lifespan. Like, I can imagine how, imagine what we're going to post a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. I mean, so, I think we're off to an amazing start, and, that promo video was, I think, amazing. I think we have so much more to show everyone in terms of like what we have in store. So we that's why we ended that video specifically with we're just getting started, because we really mean that. All right, so moving on to our business of the week. So each week we'll be announcing an Emax business of the week. This is a business from around the world who's taking steps to be competitive in the industry and trying to stand out from the competition, in part by deciding to take Emax as their cryptocurrency of choice for payment. This week we are proud to highlight Diablo Drone Services. So Diablo Drone Services is an aerial photography and videography service in the California Bay Area. They provide aerial photos and videos for events such as weddings, parties, sporting events, action sports, real estate, and more. They also provide professional services for residential real estate, commercial real estate, roof and utility inspections, and construction jobs. So congratulations to Diablo Drone Services. We will be posting something later on this week, so you can get a hold of them and you could find out where they are. If you or your business or somebody that you know is interested in being able to take Emax, please make sure they go on our website. Some info I will give you, as I would do that sooner than later, because we have been communicating on a frequent basis how we just continue to work on our payment processing. So, once that is up and running at 100%, we're going to be out of the gates, and, you certainly want to be on the front of that list. So just some advice, not financial advice, just life advice. This is going to be the last week that we are going to be accepting submissions for the intro music for Emax's weekly AMA shows. We'll probably have that finalized within the next 2 weeks. We shared a couple weeks ago that we're looking for a quick intro music to start the show, say around 10 to 15 seconds, something that kind of the format of like ESPN, Jeopardy, things of that nature, not those exact music tracks, just to give some perspective of what we're looking for. And you can email what you have in mind at music@ethereummax.org. Especially for all the DJs out there, this would probably be a good fit for you. And we'll also give you a shout out for whoever makes it. As we're almost near the tech part of our AMA, Emax is being seen around the world. We want to give a big shout out to some of our Emax holders from Croatia, who took it upon themselves to put up not one, but 2 billboards promoting Emax. So you guys rock. Hvala. I hope I'm saying that right. That means thank you in Croatian. So really appreciate your guys' effort. That's, proactive, wasn't asked for. You guys did on your own. I mean, people are putting up billboards around the world on their own, just to put things in perspective. When people ask if this isn't like real or not, I mean, they're putting up billboards on their own. I mean, I don't know. I've never proactively put up a billboard for something that I'm invested in. Like, so that just really shows like how how deep and committed this community runs. So you guys are rock stars. So thank you very much. Because we appreciate our community so much, as we say on a weekly basis, we have to continue to protect the community. Like there has never been a time where I've seen more scams ever. Right? I mean, even right now, we're even pausing comments on Facebook because as soon as we post something, there's like multiple spam accounts. It's like it's so beyond annoying. So Emax will never make an offer or anything that we're going to promote and put our name behind. You're going to see on our official website or our social media channels. If you cannot find it there, it is likely a scam. So just be careful. Do not provide your information to anyone. Be careful where you send your Emax tokens. We're never going to ask for important information. And if you're in doubt with the person you're texting with or speaking to on the other end of your phone, ask them for a phone call. Ask them to pick up the phone and give you a call. And if they're not willing to do so, it could be a scam. Obviously, if you're talking to our official support team, there's no need for them to call you because it's from our domain. But there's just a lot of scams lately. As soon as we post something, it's send your Emax here or send your ETH here to win something, to go into the contest. Like that, all that stuff is not real. So please help to continue educate the community on those concerns. Okay, without further ado, we are getting to some of our really exciting announcements. So for those of we posted it just before we started this, but for those of you who were paying attention to the chat or our Instagram, we just posted our interactive roadmap. So this is something that we have not seen before from any other project, just like we haven't seen submit, your AMA voice. We're trying to do new and innovative things. So it goes along with the theme of transparency and being cutting edge. So, without, further ado, I want to hop into a conversation with Gio and Justin. For those of you who saw the post, just click on the link that we provided. If not, you can go to EthereumMax.org/roadmap. And this is what you'll be able to see. So it's going to be an interactive design that's going to be updated frequently and just keeping the community up to date. So Justin or Gio, I don't know if you guys want to just kind of give a quick overview of the concept, the thought process behind this, and then we can kind of go into some specifics of what's on the screen.
I mean, I can just go over conceptually, and then I'll let Justin tech stuff. So guys, I think this is something that is unique. It's something that no other community, like Steve said, no other project out there is doing this. I mean, we had this concept with, in tandem with our whole business team, our tech team, the devs, to kind of show you real time the stuff that we're actually working on. We wanted to lay out the full vision, kind of what we were thinking about, for the next 4 quarters into the future. And let you see as these items are being worked on real time, what the updates are, right? Who's working on it, what the cons are, what, changes in, potential time to completion, the different statuses. And this is just a concept that, again, just reinforces the transparency that we've had to the community from day one and that we will continue to have until the final day. So, I think this is something to be very excited about. I being able to just kind of see what we're doing and what everybody's working on and how the the different items are coming to completion. I think that's a very exciting concept, and it really lays out kind of the future of Emax and what we're going to be laying out in the back end. That's undoubtedly going to be able to keep up and allow us to kind of scale everything that we can do on the front end. So. This is kind of the first step in just kind of seeing what Emax is going to continue to be able to grow into and reach that potential that I think we all know we have.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really like front heavy in terms of the way that it's been designed, and I know that's obviously I know this with intention, but was that like what was the thought process behind having it be so front heavy?
Well, look, I mean, I think we obviously want to get stuff done as quickly as possible. We're eager to put all these ideas and these thoughts and these different concepts into motion. And that just shows you how optimistic we are to kind of get a lot of those things, kind of coming along and, show everybody how that comes from, kind of just a thought, through the working process, with all of our devs and our team, behind the scenes to kind of bring it into reality. So, our expectations and our optimism in getting this stuff done in the short term is kind of evidenced by what's there for the third quarter. And obviously we have some other ideas that are a little bit more long term, but that'll continue to kind of evolve, as the market evolves and as we continue to come across opportunities that we're always searching for. So, I think you'll continue to see new items and things kind of juggle around on this, but I think that's the beauty of it, that you can kind of see as priorities change and as statuses change, and these things get brought to completion.
Like I said, I've never seen anything like this. It's very transparent. It's almost like, or not almost, like this is, I think, our message to you, community, that, Emax community, that we're letting you into our world. We want to, open up the hood so you can see what's under there, and, you can see what's happening in real time, what we're working on. And I think this will even make more of a collaborative environment in terms of the community making suggestions. I mean, you guys already make amazing suggestions, but I think this is just going to amplify that further. So is this organized in like priority, like top to bottom, for the most part?
This is it's organized in a way that this is what we think we will, we'll be going in order from here to get everything done that we need to get done. So, for instance, we need to get the whitelisting done for the wallet addresses before we can get the CertiK audit done. And then, after the CertiK audit's done, we can start on governance, which, will require a little bit more of extensive of a workload. That should take a bit longer. And then we're going to be deciding what we do with tokenomics, and then things like, Gio has mentioned about the fiat on-ramp and the expansion of the payment ecosystem and things like that. This is a generalized order of operations that we're getting into. So we hope to get everything done here in quarter 3, 2021, but things further down the list may get pushed to quarter 4, just really depending on the intricacies of each actionable step that we're taking here.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot on here, and I certainly don't want to go through every single point, just because that would just be a lot of time. But we can dive into a few of them. But I see one of them is tokenomics optimization. So Justin, can you kind of, I guess, succinctly tell us what that means or what that possibly could entail?
Well, simply it means that we're going to be adjusting the tokenomics to possibly help our further development in the ecosystem. So, for instance, we might take away something from the reflection and add it to somewhere else to allow for staking, which everybody's been calling for. Unfortunately, there has to be some give and some take. It's an open system. We need to be able to have steady fund of tokens coming from somewhere to be able to offer other types of yield elsewhere in the ecosystem. So right now, we're at a 6% reflection, and that's really good for people that are holding long term, of course. But if none of that reflection comes back into the ecosystem, and it just gets dumped out of the ecosystem into ETH or things like that, it's not allowing us to further develop our products down the road. So this is something that's got to be thought about. Just a big part of the tokenomics optimization will be also EIP 1559 that will allow us to do these multi-functions within the smart contract, because gas fees will be a lot less intense coming up here.
It seems like a lot of decisions made for the benefit of the long term, which I know we keep on saying. Let's pick another one. We talked about, or on here it talks about buy Emax on our website with fiat on ramp. So Gio, Justin, if you guys want to touch upon that, about just briefly what that entails, steps we could expect.
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, we've been talking about lowering the barrier to entry. Everybody talks about exchanges. Of course, we want to get on bigger exchanges. We will get on bigger exchanges. A a lot of the steps here are going to allow us to get on the bigger exchanges. So, we hear you loud and clear, and believe me, we absolutely can't wait to start getting on some of those larger exchanges. We came out with the survey the other day, and we hear everybody loud and clear. Some of the best kind of suggestions there are, obviously what we have in mind as well. But I think this is something in the interim that will allow people to be able to get in, especially from the mainstream who aren't as crypto savvy, that don't want to go through the whole process in Uniswap and deal with all the settings and all that. This will allow somebody to just go to the website to put in a debit card and to just be able to buy a certain amount of Emax, and all the kind of grunt work, so to speak, will be done in the back end via an API right into Uniswap. So I think that's a step in the direction of, we've always talked about that same kind of phrase, just lowering the barrier to entry. We want to be able to maximize kind of what I talked about earlier, right? Like as we advertise the market in those mainstreams and with people who maybe don't have as much experience in crypto, we want everybody to be able to buy Emax. We want to infiltrate that 98.2% of the world's population that hasn't bought cryptocurrency. So that's the market we're going after, and that's the opportunity we see with this project. And I think this is something that takes us a step in the right direction.
Could not agree more. Let's talk about, NFT ticketing is just such a massive topic, so I'm almost hesitant not to mention it, but I guess, can you share with us, Gio, a little bit about, are we going after a certain market, industry? Like, obviously, that could be chopped up 1,000 different ways, but, can you at least share, where some of our core focus may lie as it relates to NFT ticketing?
Well, yeah, sure. Look, we always saw NFT ticketing as kind of an extension of our whole transaction utility. We talk about the expansion of that whole payment ecosystem and things that we want to do and will do. And NFT ticketing goes hand in hand. I think it's a very it's a new concept that I think in tandem with all the type of events that we have a hand in, and stuff we've done in the past and will continue to do in the future, whether it be those sporting events, some of the the other type of events in hospitality and kind of whether it be concerts or festivals, all that type of stuff that we're talking with a number of partners right now to put partnerships in place. I think that that sphere can kind of tie into all of those areas, and that's exciting because that's new and it's a perfect tie into our transaction utility.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's probably one of my top 3 most excited and favorite things that I'm looking forward to, just because I love the events and there's just so many different ways we could deliver really something remarkable and special to the Emax community. So super excited to share some more announcements with that as it relates to Emax and NFT ticketing. Let's do 2 more. Justin, I know the past couple of AMAs you mentioned Emax rolling out a new website, being on Web3. What is the purpose of that? What are the benefits? What are some things we can look for in terms of Emax being on a new platform?
Ultimately, I think it's a really high level of security to have, all of your information under one roof that, users can connect to with their Web3 wallets. Integrate seamlessly with our apps and not be mistaken. There's a lot of scammers. There's a lot of fake websites. There's a lot of phishing that happens. Web3 security is optimized by the blockchain at the base level. So, it's just as good of security, if not better, than what you'd use at a bank. But I think that, ultimately it's for user experience. You want a seamless transition between your information and your buying experience and your selling experience. And, ultimately this Web3 app that we're creating will have our roadmap, our information, everything built in, and then with easy access to all of the products that we'll be having the users interact with.
Nice. Last one, let's talk. I mean, the community would kill me if we didn't bring up the white paper and light paper. So I know this was a conversation that we were having internally. There was some debate and conversation about where exactly it should be placed within the Q3 roadmap. And Justin, in speaking with you, this week, you made some good points in terms of its placement. So, without going too detailed like we have earlier, if you want to just give the community, a brief overview of, why it's placed more so towards the bottom of the list and the justification behind that.
Well, simply because right now we're still in conceptual design phase for the order of that products will be introduced into the ecosystem, and the products themselves are very intricate, so they need to be, everything is being custom built for the. We're not taking we don't have some design that we just have lying around and can just talk about it. We have to design everything from scratch on the development side, and right now we're still in the conceptual phase. But once we start doing this modeling and gathering analytics, and once we have technical data and we walk through and we test these apps ourselves, then we can provide accurate documentation that can then be used to create something that's more readable. So call it a light paper, call it a white paper, call it a max paper. It'll be there, but we have to get there first.
Got it. So what you're saying is obviously there's a lot of important things ahead of this, such as the payment system and the fiat and NFT ticketing. And in order for the white paper to be a true white paper and actually make a lot of sense, we need to be able to present certain detailed data and algorithms and whatnot. And obviously the only way to do that is to actually first develop it and document it in terms of presenting it. Is that accurate?
Right. Exactly, Steve.
Cool.
I personally like Max paper. I think we should patent that one.
Max paper?
Do it.
Cool. I mean, something else to really notice there, Emax community, is that, just speaking bluntly, it's not garbage code. It's not like, anyone could really create, a token, a coin, whatever. And there's so much risk and possible scam that goes with that. But, we have a team of developers that are, like Justin mentioned, doing this from scratch. And, that stuff it's not easy. It's a lot of development, computation, a lot of lines of code. We want to do it right. And just, to let people further into our world, those are a lot of the debates that we have internally. Just, we're balancing this yin and yang of obviously wanting to go fast and come out of the gates fast, but, the more logical side of our brain is telling us fast is important, but we also want to do it right. So just to let everyone into our ecosystem, those are the ongoing conversations that we're having. And I think they're really healthy conversations. And I think the Emax community is going to be super proud with what we deliver.
What's the old saying, Steve? The fast, cheap, and good.
Yeah,
you can only pick two.
Yeah, you can only pick two.
And just to add on to that whole point, just so what Justin, Justin F, to be clear, and team are kind of doing here. These are custom build-ups, right? These are all kind of custom products and custom solutions to kind of building out this ecosystem. This is stuff that, is not a copy and paste. It's not something that anybody else is doing, which is why we think we're so well positioned to kind of take advantage of some of the changes with Ethereum, the fork and 2.0. It's just very exciting stuff with some of the things
we're thinking big picture. We're thinking big picture and long term, and that requires, really sound, logical planning so that you don't trip yourself up anywhere. And this roadmap, we're getting there now conceptually. We have a lot of moving parts behind the scenes with how many people we're working with, all the connections. Bringing new developers in and onboarding everybody while conceptually designing things. It's a lot that goes into an undertaking like this, which we're really trying to do something big here for decentralized communities. We really want to bridge the gap between the crypto space and the mainstream space. If we make that bridge, which we already have, being with the celebrities that are endorsing us already, that bridge is there. It's being built, and now we need the products on our end to make sense for those users that we're onboarding. We need them to offer value for the users that we're onboarding, so that they stay within our ecosystem and that it works. So.
Mr. Craig, you said if we make that bridge, I just want to say when we make it.
When.
Exactly.
We said when in sync there. Because it is a matter of when. Awesome. So, super excited to launch our interactive roadmap, Emax community. Again, we have not seen anything like that before. So, everyone's definitely on ground, the ground floor in terms of something special currently being brewed. Next is the CertiK audit update. I know a lot of the community has started to get traction about getting updates from on the CertiK website itself. We wanted to announce that news tonight, but it's just not ready to be announced. We are, not even at the finish line. Like we have like 1 foot over the finish line, 1 foot not over the finish line, but technically in a race, they're considering that not finished. So we are, just to put things in perspective, we are really almost there. Anything that had to be signed is signed, paid is paid. So we're just waiting for one final tweak, and you'll certainly hear that announcement from us first. We don't want to spend too much time on that because we've been speaking about that for the last 3 weeks. We do have some really, really big, exciting news from a tech perspective. Into our knowledge, we are one of the first tokens or coins in this category to make a big announcement like this. But Kivo, the next generation cold storage crypto hardware wallet, is now going to support Emax. And the cool thing about this, it's going to be natively integrated into Kivo's state-of-the-art technology. So holders will be able to securely store their Emax tokens on Kivo's revolutionary multi-factor, multi-sig authentication system. And working with their developers, one of the downfalls sometimes of keeping your crypto on a cold storage wallet is you don't get any of the benefits, such as any redistribution or whatnot. But working with the development team, Emax holders will still be able to enjoy the 6% reward reflection as an Emax holder. So essentially, you could be your own bank now and hold Emax securely with Kivo. So I'm super, super pumped about it. I think it just kind of puts us in a different category of crypto. Again, I hadn't really heard something like this before, and we'll be posting a link for the announcement and how to buy tomorrow. So Gio, Justin, I don't know if you have anything to add to that, but I'm pumped about that.
Yeah, I would just say just more kind of mainstream adoption of Emax, just another step forward. So it's another great kind of piece of hardware that now is supporting Emax. So that's great.
Yeah, and you'll see it comes with fingerprint ability. I think if you die, you could sign it to somebody. Like it's pretty secure.
Get some of these to do a giveaway. That'd be awesome.
Good idea. I think that's going to be in our future. We will definitely do that for a significant giveaway. So that's a great idea. So those are our core updates and our core tech updates. Like we do every week, we're going to go into some of these questions that were submitted by community members. So let's get this party started. Let me pull up the first one.
Can we reach 1 cent or $1?
He has a little bit of a raspy voice that came from Rosmik, and the question was, I think that's from Russia. I don't know what .ru is. But the question was, is Emax able to reach 1 cent or $1?
Yeah, so I think we did the math earlier, and it was something like, we said, Steve, even if we burnt half of the supply down, our market cap would be like 7.5 trillion or something like that, which would be close to the market cap of all of the gold in the world. Hey, if we're going to disrupt history,
True. Part of the reality of this is just currently the supply is so high. So just from a simple mathematic economical standpoint, just doing straight numbers, that's where it becomes challenging to wrap our head around that reality unless there's some significant changes. Now, that being said, that sounds like, oh, that's not that great of news, but we're talking about there could still be a 5,000% or more upswing, and we're still not even there. So just to put things in perspective from like a percentage standpoint, we're still a long ways away, and there's still a beautiful golden runway in front of us. But just doing the math, I mean, there would have to be some serious burning, serious probably adjustments to tokenomics to even get there, simply because of where our supply started. All right, let's go to our second question. This one is from Doug W.
Hey, this is Doug W. from Connecticut. I was wondering about getting in with the Eastern States Exposition Fair, the Big E. Work out a deal to sell Big E tickets or set up a booth up there. 1.5 million people come through each year. It's up in Massachusetts. Give it a try.
All right, Gio, this one's probably for you. You won't man a booth at the Big E, having some like chocolate dipped meatballs or something like that. They have some crazy food up there.
Big E, yeah, you can get a nice big pretzel and those big corn on the cobs. Yeah, look, I mean, we're open to all kinds of event spaces and the hospitality and the festival kind of thing spheres. So yeah, maybe the Big E fits right in. So we'll definitely have to look into that.
So I think where we could utilize, where we could certainly lean on the community more is, we always get a lot of good ideas, and some of the best connections honestly comes from the community. So in situations like these, if you guys hear something on the AMAs and you have a connection with the Big E, or you have a connection with a concert, you have a connection with a festival, things of that nature, and you're a believer in Emax and you want our payments to be accepted there, make an introduction. We would love to carry that conversation forward.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're a network at the end of the day. We're supposed to use all of our resources to better the whole. That's what a network does. That's why networks that increase in user count have increased value.
Cannot agree more. The network effect. All right. This one's from Edson.
Good morning. I got a problem. I was wondering if you could help me with it.
So the guys didn't know I snuck this one in here. He said, I have a problem. Can you help me with it? Which is kind of vague, but my response to him would be, have you tried baking soda yet? Because that could solve a lot of problems. And, whatever problem you are dealing with right now, if you just try baking soda, that may help.
Sick.
Next one is from Stephen J.
I entered the details of my MasterCard, and it says I can't use a business card. It's the only one that I've got.
So I don't know, the last couple have been kind of scratchy, but the question was, he's trying to use his credit card to purchase crypto, and it's not allowing him. It's the only one that he has. So Stephen, we spoke about this on our website. So a lot of credit cards have certain policies where they will not let you purchase crypto. Debit cards are a different story, and an easier way may even be to either do a transfer directly from your bank, or to utilize PayPal. Gio and Justin, I don't know if you guys have any more advice as it relates to credit card payments, because I know we were dealing with a lot of that in the community when we started off a couple months ago.
Yeah, man. Go ahead. I just think it's, those are more compliance things, like, kind of AML, KYC. Plus, I think they're worried about the chargebacks there. Within crypto, if you lose money, then somehow you go and try to dispute the transaction. So I think it's just more kind of corporate as it relates to the currency.
I think the big thing is that if you could buy crypto with credit cards, then people could just easily steal cards, swipe them, buy crypto, and run off with it to some random wallet. And really, that's not anything that the credit card company can do, because Usually they like Gio was saying, they can do a chargeback if it's to a normal business or something, but there's absolutely no protection for credit cards if they get, or credit card companies, if they get a chargeback due to crypto, they'll completely lose the money.
All right. Next question is from Trip.
Hey, I'm Trip, and I was just wondering about the Burn wallet. Is the Burn wallet getting the redistributions to it as well as all the tokens that are being burned from the new tokenomics? Would that not also be increasing the balance of the Burn wallet more than just the 3%? Thanks.
No, the Burn wallet is not making any transactions.
Yeah, he was also wondering if it gets any of the redistribution. So just the short answer is no.
Yeah, no, it doesn't get that.
All right, next one is from Brett H.
I would like to know more about the rewards for Emax. It kind of states that EtherMax is a yield-based token that provides 6% distribution of every transaction to existing Emax wallet holders just for owning it. When and how will we receive those rewards, especially with using Coinbase wallet that's described in the directions above? Thank you.
Talking about the reflections?
Yeah, I guess he's Brett saying that he's not seeing it in his wallet.
I had sort of a similar problem. I think that if you check your Etherscan, you'll actually see it, because I was experiencing something similar on one of the apps I used to track my wallet. I wasn't noticing the reflections coming in, but then once I actually looked at my account balance on Etherscan, it showed it. So that might be a reason.
Yeah, for those of you who use Xerion, there is a similar, I guess, lag or delay. So as Justin was saying, Etherscan is certainly going to be the most accurate in terms of being able to calculate and quantify how many Emax tokens you have. You could also use Coinbase wallet. That also works. So something interesting with Xerion and Coinbase wallet, because you can connect your Coinbase wallet to Xerion, is that Xerion won't update, whereas Coinbase wallet is frequently updating. But if you make another purchase on Coinbase wallet, Xerion will actually update to the most recent purchase, meaning that it'll skip ahead to where it is so that it's current, but then it'll be paused there until you actually purchase again. But in short, if you want to know your actual true token quantity, Etherscan would be the most accurate for those of you who have a wallet that is not calculating in real time. Next one is from Evan.
There was discussion of a 3% or some kind of reflection to a liquidity pool. Is that still a potential or in the works? Additionally, what further utility do you have planned for the upcoming future? Or are you focused strictly on vendor payments at this point in time?
Well, we have a really big plan coming that sort of will be all-encompassing, that we'll be revealing, sort of once we get it all laid out. So it'll be a bit more than just the payments and everything else, but like we keep saying, we want a whole ecosystem that starts and ends with Emax. So we will be figuring out what to do with those tokenomics. Like if you can see the live roadmap, we have the tokenomics optimization, like I was talking about earlier, which will probably be pulling, maybe 1% of the reflections to go towards some sort of system. Whether that's going to be liquidity or locking liquidity, we haven't decided yet. But either way, when we do complete this ecosystem, the liquidity will be well more fortified than it is now.
Nice. We have one more.
There was discussion of a 3%.
Oh, that's an old one. Hold on a second.
Hi, this is Vic D from Connecticut. And what are we going to do about Russ and Justin, who are dumping our token? We all know what happened in the beginning. You could explain it a little bit maybe to the community, but this is causing our investment to stay down, and we need them out so this thing could thrive. This question needs...
The system cut them off. I didn't cut them off, but Gio, that's maybe a question that you could answer.
Well, look, I mean, we've been talking about for a while that, issues with early holders that have kind of got in and got this contract at kind of dirt cheap price. A lot of the actions that we've taken to try to drive value, to try to, kind of really build out, all this utility and kind of have this future plan, those have definitely been thwarted. There's no doubt that, we've seen a lot of, kind of artificial type, kind of prices that seem like we keep getting stuck in a range. Whether it's those individuals, other early holders, it obviously needs to be dealt with. We did take, a bit of a break or kind of a step back to focus on the technology side of things, the tokenomics, building out really that platform and the, kind of our entire foundation to really support this entire project going forward. And, part of that is obviously the wallet compositions and, what we think is viable to be able to move forward in the future without all this resistance. So, we're going to continue to look into that. We're aware of things that have been, kind of spotted and called out, in the community. And I think it's obviously been a hot topic of people, what people actually, are seeing and what they want to talk about. And it's obviously stirring up a lot of emotion because, like I said earlier, people are invested not only financially, but mentally and emotionally, physically. And to see some of that stuff is obviously not right. Some of the stuff is not ethical, and kind of borders on, kind of any other way from there, whether there's legality issues. I mean, we're looking at everything, and, we see what's happening, but, it will, I think we have a plan, to kind of try to deal with some of this stuff. And, we realize the viability of this to really move forward and not keep getting met with all this resistance is pretty dependent on, what happens, to a lot of these guys who kind of come into these contracts very, very early on in the process. And it's something that we're working through. We see what's going on. We're doing our own kind of audits. We have forensic audits taking place as we speak. And, we'll get to the bottom of it. And, I think we'll take appropriate action when time comes.
I want to say something too quick to that is that, this isn't the only project where big investors early, held the project down at the beginning. Any project that has sort of private and equity coming in, even though even in this case it's not private, it's just early. You gotta understand, guys, if you're really building something long term, that in the end, these guys are selling out early. So, take these dips as an opportunity to buy their bags up, so they can't dump out on the rest of the community when the price goes higher again. Let them sell out at these low prices if that's their prerogative right now. If they don't want to stay, they don't want to believe in the project, we have everything that we need, obviously, to do what we need to do here. And, you know, to me, they're selling early.
Yeah, I just want to add on.
Sells the bottom anyway.
Yeah, I just want to add on to that point. I mean, look, I know there's been, you know, kind of a lot of outcry from some people that, you know, kind of came in a little later in the in that kind of parabolic spike that we had. And, you know, a lot of those people have, you know, higher bases than, you know, than the price that we're currently at. And, you know, just to echo Justin's point and some of the points that I think a lot of the people in the community have been raising. I mean, I think we absolutely need to look at this right now, and everybody has to look and see, you know, kind of, you know, what future does this project have? I mean, I think everybody sees the effort we're putting in. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, we came into this project to do something real and to disrupt history, right? That's
also, like, we've all been there. We've all bought the top of one token or one stock or another. There's one option you have when you buy the top of a stock, but you're convicted, you know, you have conviction about it and you want to hold it, or in this case,
I know where you're going with this.
You know where I'm going with this, Steve. What do you do, Steve?
Huh?
What do you do? What's the answer?
You buy more to get your cost basis down.
There you go. You dollar cost average. So right now, if you bought the top, and you buy the bottom here, you know, or maybe last week was the bottom, who knows now at this point. But either way, if you bought the top and you buy the bottom, now you're somewhere in the middle. And that's a lot better than having, you know, all of those tokens and feeling like you're just holding for no reason. If you have conviction about the project, if you believe in the team that's behind it, dollar cost average. Take advantage of these guys that are selling early and buy their bags up.
Yeah, and that's not financialized. That's literally just math. So if you buy a 10 first, then all of a sudden you have an opportunity to buy a 5. Your collective price is now 7.5. So you just bring down your average cost. So that's just math.
Yeah, no financial advice. I'm just a dev.
All right, guys. So that's pretty funny that they're talking about Justin and Russ from in Russ We Trust, because Kyle and I may or may not have gotten Justin thrown off the Emax project for when he leaked the information about Floyd Mayweather shorts when he was not supposed to, and so it's pretty funny that he's dumping now and causing this, or helping to cause this deflated price that we have right now. But that is going to do it for this one, guys. So as always, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel for more updates on Emax as well as other stocks and tokens we like. And I thank you guys so much for watching this far, and I'll see you in the next video.